Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where try as I might, I've not been able to solve the issue of some parts just not being interactable in the Kerbal EVA construction mode. I have no idea why this is the case. It just seems to be. So we are of course going to need to attempt to mount this guy up on the top, up there. That is going to get real interesting. So what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to place it right in that docking port. In theory, that means that it's functional, but we're going to head on over here and we're going to grab ourselves a ladder, because we'll definitely need that. So let's come on over and grab ourselves the ladder, which should be over here. Yes. Just grab that, and we'll place that over here for now. And let's head on over. I would actually like to grab a second ladder as well, as long as we are here. Yeah, I'm not trying to grab the cargo storage unit. I'm trying to grab the ladder. Thank you very much. And we'll place that, like, over here. Now, that's, of course, a physics-less part. But, we'll just move these guys right on over. For now, I'll just attach that in over here for now. And we'll get a little closer. Because we definitely need to install a battery on this thing. There is no doubt about that one. So let's just set this ladder, say, here. Ooh, that was an interesting little physics issue there. Okay. So we're going to grab onto this ladder if we can. We may need to lift off a bit here. There we go. And can we not grab this while climbing on a ladder? Or can we just... I may have just not been clicking on the collider, I suppose. That is a possibility. Okay, so let's grab this. And bring this guy right on down. Ooh, that feels so weird. That feels so weird. Okay, as far as attachment for this goes, how are we going to get it up top? Well, the answer to that is that first, we're going to need to hop over to here and extend this ladder. Okay, so there's that. Our second trick is that we're going to take Bill, and we're going to have him come on over here. We're going to utilize this as a bit of an elevator for us. So we are going to hop into this mode here, and we're going to place this upright on the ground, assuming that I can find a direction that is that. There we go. And then we'll just snap this in like so. And we'll need to snap several of these in. If I can get this to flip the way I want it to. Oh, there it is. Fantastic. Sure, that's close enough. Can we get up top here? No. Okay, let's get a little closer over here. Fantastic. And we'll just affix that in like that. Come over here. Can we get that up there? I'm not sure that we can quite reach that. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to just place it like this. And like this. Okay. Next, we're going to switch to Heldis again. And we're going to climb our way up the ladder a little bit. And let's see what we've got as far as reach here goes. Looks pretty good, actually. And we'll need to detach this and place it like over here temporarily. Place that there. That there. How are we looking on impacting that solar panel? Looks like we're not going to impact that solar panel. Fantastic. Next, I'm going to grab the ladder and move the ladder, say, up here. Oof. Well, that happened. Oof indeed. Okay, well, we're going to continue going up here, because what we need, essentially, is we just need the ladder up here, right? We need the ladder to be, like, here. And we'll need to extend that as well. Okay. So, at this point, we should be fine. Yeah, we'll be fine here. We don't need to do any other changes up here except for popping this off. We might need a storage spot for that. That could be interesting. But let's hop back to Bill for the time being. And we're going to have to rebuild this tower. Because we had that exciting little physics shake. Now we can't grab that due to part attachments. So we're going to have to build it from the top instead. And that's okay. That's an interesting way for it to balance. I would prefer that it didn't balance like that. Thank you very much. Yeah, that'll do. There. Now it should balance correctly. Okay, let's get this rotated again. And we're just going to do something kind of like this. Is this going to be close enough to reach? You know, I'm actually not sure that it will. I'm going to build this over here instead. It's not exactly snapping in. But it should, in theory anyway, be okay or okay-ish. Okay, this guy is not wanting to cooperate with me. I'm going to put it there for now. There. Okay. Let's get these up here. If I can get this to cooperate. This is really not cooperating. Okay. I'm going to take these out and see if we can get this to properly snap. And the answer to that is yes. Yes, we can. Now this should go a lot better. I don't care about the orientation of these per se, but we're going to come over this way. There we go. Build it up to there. And I believe now we're too high. And so we will need to store these. Something kind of like... Sure, that'll do. And something kind of like that. Okay. At this point, we're going to then mount the battery, I think, here. Okay. Now we're going to swap over to Heldis here again. Okay. And we're going to work on finishing up this tower. And we'll place that there. We'll place the battery in here and hopefully not knock this over with physics. Okay. Looks good. And now we'll pull the battery off of there. And patch that in like that. Excellent. Okay. Now let's climb up. And get onto the correct ladder. That would be nice. Let's actually just make our way up like that. There, that'll do the trick. And we'll grab this, and the question is, where are we going to attach it? I'm going to attach it here temporarily. And then we will place the battery there. Grab that. Ooh, we lost that solar panel. That was quite a physics issue. And then we will just snap that in right there. So we can always go grab another solar panel. That is something that we should very easily be able to repair. So I'm going to come down to about here, and we're going to go grab Bill. We've got plenty of solar panels here. I'm not concerned about it. So Bill is going to come on over this way. I'm going to hope that we can reach up here. We may have to drop it on the ground. I'm not sure yet. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like we are indeed going to have to lift off here. And come up over this way. And we'll grab these photovoltaic panels, drop them down there temporarily. And grab them off of there, move them over here. Excellent. And then we're just going to grab them from here and move them, say, here. And then we're going to hop over to Heldis. And we are going to let go and grab, move on down, and we'll place this in. It, of course, goes here. Okay. Yeah, that should be absolutely fine. So it would go, in theory, approximately here. This isn't exact, because apparently it can't go in exactly the same location. That rotation I hate. I objectively hate the rotation of it. So let's try this without messing up the snapping. Sure, it's slightly lower, but that should be absolutely fine. Let's grab the ladder off of here, as well as this ladder off of here. That was some interesting physics. We removed the ladder that we were standing on. And that ladder blew up a little bit, but that's okay. Fantastic. So we managed to do our refit over here. Unfortunately, I just can't figure out any sort of a way to interact with this relay antenna. If you know of a way to fix this issue, please let me know. This is not a weight issue. These things weigh 0.3 tons, or rather they have a mass of 0.3 tons. And we can move 1.2 tons. So that's not anything to do with it. This is literally just the relay part, and we just can't interact with it. And I have no idea why. Some parts just seem to work that way. So if you know how to interact with it, please let me know. Otherwise, I guess we'll just pretend that it's up here. I'm not super enthused by that. But that's where we are. Okay, so at this point, we need to refuel our fuel hauler. And we are in progress on that, to be sure. This Rocketmax Jumbo 64 does have some fuel that has been stored here previously, but mostly we're going to need to give this some time. So I'm going to transfer the fuel out of here, and the fuel will move into this rocket over here. And of course, the mission for this will be to move back up to the station, and that'll be just fine. It's a bit lengthy, but there's absolutely no way that I'm ever going to physics warp here. I have a feeling that that will break everything. So we're going to move the fuel out of here, and then additional fuel will continue to be made. We are indeed making fuel. You can see here that we are... Actually, we're inactive on... No, we're active on liquid fuel plus oxidizer. Fantastic. So we're going to move all of this fuel on over, and we'll just keep doing this until this is full, and then we'll go up and refuel our existing station. However, that will definitely take some time. We could time warp here. That would be something that would be a viable action to do. But instead, I'm going to hop back to the Space Center, because we have a probe heading out to Eve that probably could use some management. It's been a little while. So let's go ahead and go into the tracking station through the haze of extreme darkness, and we are going to take a look at the France Comsat Mark III right here, which is apparently on an escape trajectory out of the sun. I'm not sure I agree with that statement, but okay, we're going to go ahead and fly this. And this, of course, needs to be brought in to Eve. Eve is quickly becoming our target. And all this is going to do right now is I think warp to this maneuver node in 73 days. I think this is completely okay to do. And at this point, our Minmus base is essentially complete. Functionally complete, anyway. So we are, of course, going to head out here. Yeah, we don't have a maneuver node, but I believe this is a normal burn here. Yes, indeed it is. And we're going to burn this at T minus 14.5 seconds. So let's go ahead and tick forward towards 14.5 seconds. And we'll burn this right about now. Excellent. Just changing our inclination to be in plane with Eve. Hello. Are you Kerbin, by chance? I believe that this here is Kerbin and this is Moon. Hello, buddies. We're not coming back to you. I can tell you that right now. Okay, we're going to just hold on the actual maneuver position here. Okay, that should be good enough. How are we doing on that? Oh yeah, plenty good. Okay, at the descending node, how does it look if we do an intercept? Not terrible, actually. Something like that. Only 800 meters per second. Wow. That is actually really nice. Really, really nice. So let's go ahead and focus on Eve for right now and look at what that would end up looking like. Okay, I mean, I really want this to be in a polar orbit. So let's just tweak this. And bring it in something a little bit more like this. I mean, that'll do. And then pull it out this direction, approximately to, say, here. It's not a perfect polar orbit, but ultimately I think it'll do. And then just sit it around 5 million meters. That should do the trick. 857.3 meters per second and a burn in 98 days. However, we will come back to that. We just warped forward 73 days, which should have been more than enough to get that fuel into the Minmus rocket. So let's just go ahead and hop back to the tracking station here. And I really do need to clean up all of this junk here. There's no doubt about that. But we are going to go ahead and fly what is, at this point, the fuel hauler. I don't know why the fuel hauler became the primary ship here, but whatever, I suppose. So let's take a look at this. And we can see that we are currently in darkness. But that should be okay. And if we look at this, yeah, we are completely full on fuel. So that is fantastic. We are going to go ahead and immediately undock this. Wonderful. And apparently we got ourselves a little bit of distance here. We are going to have to clear the arm. So we're going to head on over to the mining outpost. There we go. And we're going to clear the arm right now by increasing this target angle. There we go. And I guess I will increase this target angle as well, just to make sure that that's nice and out of the way. Something along the lines of that should be fine. And we will unextend these bits. Yeah, that should do the trick for now. Okay, so we are now ready to take this on up. And bring in our first refueling mission at our space station here. Which, of course, is kind of our refueling station to the stars. So that will be fantastic. Let's get out of here. Yeah, we're a little close to our Kerbals. I'm sure they'll be fine. Actually, I'm not. I'm not sure that they will be fine. We're going to move our Kerbals away. Why don't you guys get to a quasi-safe distance here, guys? Okay, so Bill's gonna hop over here, and then we will have Heldis just go like... She wants an up-close and personal view, but she needs to at least hide under the pad. So she's gonna come over here and stay a little... Okay, I guess she's gonna go for a bit of a roll in the Minmus dust, and she'll just chill here for now. Wonderful. And the fuel hauler is gonna head on out of here. And off we go. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and rotate a bit here. There we go. And let's get heading in the correct direction. I have no idea what the actual location of our station is going to be, which means, of course, that this is not going to be the world's most efficient rendezvous. But that is okay. We're just getting horizontal speed at this point, and we are off and away with a fully fueled rocket. This should be lots of Delta V. Okay, Apoapsis height of 40, I'm just checking. Yeah, this is about double, so that should be fine. We'll add a maneuver here, and we'll just circularize that. Something along the lines of... well, along the lines of this. That'll do, and we'll point right at that maneuver. As you can see now, we have cleared the shadow, so that's great. And we're going to go ahead and warp to this maneuver. Off we go. And we're going to go ahead and give ourselves our burn right about, well, at T-minus 3.5 seconds, actually. So we're going to warp towards that. I have overshot. We're just going to call this good enough. It doesn't actually matter, in all honesty. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. So we're going to set the space station core as our target, and we can see here that we are off in our inclination by about 5 degrees. So at the ascending node, we will burn this direction and fix that inclination. And that's close enough. We'll go ahead and head towards that maneuver node. And we do not need our landing legs deployed. We'll pull those back in. Wonderful. And we are, of course, going to go ahead and warp to this. T-minus 1 second is when we want to do this. And this is actually, it almost seems like a non-terrible time for this launch. That said, over Minmus, almost everything is a non-terrible launch, I feel like. Non-terrible time to launch and rendezvous. So we'll just bring this on down. This is a very, very small burn, so I'm going to burn it very gently here. Should be good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, at the periapsis, let's see what an intercept would look like. Actually, that's really close. Okay. That is really close. Separation of 2 kilometers. 3, 2... Okay. Just seeing if I can fine-tune it a little closer. .1 kilometers. And that's close enough. That is absolutely close enough. We'll go ahead and point at that. This is only an 8.2 meter per second burn. That's going to be interesting to hit bang on. Like, really interesting. Okay, we're going to warp towards that. And let's warp in a little bit closer. Fantastic. 8.2. Okay. And I'm just trying to get this fairly close here. Yeah, 0.5 kilometers. Definitely close enough. And let's go ahead and warp to here. Fantastic. So this is currently catching up with us. And that's wonderful. We're going to go into target retrograde as soon as we're done with this warp. Our relative speeds are incredibly close. We can now see the station. Let's flip over to that sweet, sweet target retrograde. There we go. And then I'm going to warp us in just a wee bit closer. About 500 meters is apparently the closest we get. We'll see if that's accurate. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Yeah, it looks like we're getting a little closer here. Yeah, 300 meters. I like it. Okay, we'll call that good. This might not be a bad docking port to aim for. Let's go ahead and kill our relative velocity. There we go. And then let's burn towards target and get in just that little bit closer. We're still too far out to be able to interact with the port, so let's bring this on in until we are a little bit closer. We're definitely laden with fuel, there's no doubt about that. Bringing it in at about 2 meters per second here, and we'll flip back around to target retrograde. And yeah, that's 0.0 kilometers there. Excellent. And we'll go ahead and warp this for a little while. Question is, how long? Well, here in a bit, anyway. Certainly when we're within 100 meters, I think. Yeah. Let's get aligned here. It doesn't really matter which docking port here we end up going for. Maybe I go for this one. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to kill our relative velocity at this point. And we're going to do another burn after we set this as our docking port. And we're going to go ahead and turn towards target. Wonderful. And then we'll switch over to the station. And we'll get that set up as well. Okay, so we should control from here. And set this as our target. Wonderful. And we'll point towards target. Yeah, these joints aren't the best. We can come up here with some struts and strut this in later on. That is definitely something that we could do. And maybe that's something that we should do. Okay, so let's just hold this here. Wonderful. And then we're going to burn in at about 0.5 meters per second. Wonderful. And we'll set our SAS on target. I would very much like to have our RCS be set to, like, pilot only. That would be very, very nice if that was a feature. Unfortunately, it is not, so we'll have to turn our SAS off, and then just make tweaks with RCS, and then SAS back on. Excellent. At this point, I'm just going to time warp us in until we are within around 10 meters. Okay. Ooh, that's a big wiggle. That is a big ol' wiggle. But I think we have docking forces here. Ooh. That rotation, though. Look at that rotation. Bonkers. Could you not, Mr. Station? Thanks. Any moment now, though, this should end up working. Let's go ahead and point towards target. Come back in a bit. Once it comes back... Maybe? Maybe. Not this time. Yeah, not that time. We're very close now, though. Now it should actually connect, I think. Yes. Fantastic. So, of course, with that, we can then pin these guys open. And the goal then would be to fill up these tanks here. Now, I think this top tank is probably going to be what we're going to try to keep for landing again, and these other tanks would be the ones that we would empty. So we would have to do these one at a time, sadly. Or no, we wouldn't. We wouldn't have to do them one at a time. I'm a moron. Well, we already knew that. What we would do is we would do these ones one at a time. In. Like that. That would be how it would end up working. Fantastic. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we are going to really start working on our Eve mission. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.